Hey y'all, it's Alexis. Today we're going to be chatting through how to be more positive during the pandemic while pregnant. So this is really a difficult time for us pregnant mamas, especially being a first-time mom. It's so scary just not knowing, having just so many uncertainties, and just you have no idea what the outcome is. At least with like viruses like the flu, I kind of know like, okay, as long as I'm healthy, like everything should be okay. But with this, there's no statistics and no one knows anything. So it can just be really scary, and there can be just so much fear surrounding just thinking about doing everyday things because you have no idea like what the outcome's gonna be, right? So I almost didn't record this video because I am not an expert at this. I don't do this perfectly every single day. I still have moments where I get really worried and I kind of freak out, but this stuff has really helped me just to minimize the amount of panic and the amount of fear surrounding the whole entire pandemic. So I just thought I would share these little tips and tricks with you guys. Today we'll talk about things you shouldn't do, things you should do, having faith during this time, and lastly, dealing with a canceled baby shower. So let's get into it. So the first thing that you absolutely should not do is scroll through social media. So scrolling through social media is just like a mindless thing that we do. We just kind of scroll and we're like looking at nothing. We have so much more time now just to do whatever. And we'll talk about this later, but there's so many more valuable things that you could be doing with your time, right? But I understand the aspect of wanting to feel connected to people, because if you're isolated at home, it can feel extremely lonely and frustrating not to be able to connect with people. So that's like our way of connecting, right? But you don't have to go scrolling. So I want to give you a few tips on how to stop scrolling and how to clean up your newsfeed a little bit. So the first thing that you're going to want to do is, if you are scrolling, unfollow people who cause you to worry or stress more about this. Because I know that there are people like, let's pretend Aunt Sally. She loves to update us on all the things that we should and shouldn't be doing during the coronavirus and all these scary statistics. And although it's probably really good information, for me, it scares me, right? So what I do is I go ahead and I unfollow or take a break from this person. And then I put her on a list of like, let me check in and see how she's doing later. Because I do love her. I do care about her. I want to know how she's doing, but how she interacts on social is just not healthy for me. So that's one thing you can do to clean up your newsfeed if you don't want to stop scrolling. But the second thing that you can be doing is going on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, whatever, and going right to the people's profile that are important to you. So let's just say that your friend Allie, she lives across the country and you haven't seen her in a while and you want to make sure she's doing okay. Go right to her profile. Don't wait for a post to possibly pop up this week to see how she's doing. And even better yet, maybe reach out and text her or Facebook message her and see how she's doing. So there are just little things that you can be doing. This doesn't mean you have to get off social media completely. It's just be more mindful of your time, right? Don't spend hours and hours just mindlessly scrolling. Kind of be intentional with the time that you're spending, and yes, get that connection, get that time to be able to feel like you have people that are with you even though they're not actually there. But be more mindful about how you're actually doing that. So the second thing that you absolutely should not be doing is looking for daily updates. This is really hard. I'm like the Google search queen, so I love to like search something up when I'm in a panic moment, and then it never helps. It just never goes anywhere. So there are a couple of things that I've done that have really helped me to stay positive during this time, but to stay informed, because I think that's another part that is really important about this virus, right? We don't know anything, but it's important to be educated. But for some of us, it's just not healthy to spend hours and hours and hours researching everything there is to know. So the first thing you can do is ask your husband, your mom, your friend to actually go and do the research for you. Say, hey, could you just give me some updates every few days so I know what to do, what to expect? And when I asked my husband to do this, it was really helpful because he would actually just weed through the information that wasn't necessary or things that he knew would trigger me and make me more worried. And at least he knew about them, so if something were to come up, he would know, but I didn't have to sit here and stress and worry. Now, if you're asking your friends and family to do this, make sure that you recommend that they give you a reputable source. Don't just go to like your local news and be like, oh, hey, what's the newest information? Ask them to give you some reputable sources for information, sources that you would trust. Now, if you absolutely cannot like have someone else look up the information, you need to look at it yourself. I'd recommend every couple days just setting a timer for say like a half hour. You look up information during that time and that is it. That really helps me to kind of control how much I see, how much information I gather, and it also kind of helps me to make a game plan of like, okay, once I find my information, what can I do, right? How can I control this situation? And lastly, when I'm looking up updates, I want to make sure, like I said, these sources are reputable. So go to people that you trust and believe in. I'm actually going to give you 3 YouTubers that I absolutely love. They are amazing. I've been following them for most of my pregnancy, and I think that they are people who I would trust with information about the coronavirus. So the first person is Bridget Tyler. I think it's Tyler. And anyway, she's a birth doula. She is so cute. You have to go check out her channel. She does an amazing job. She's got so many tips and tricks. She's even got some meditations that I've just been loving. But aside from all that, I trust that what she has to say about the coronavirus is been well researched. So when she gives updates, I definitely really look for those. So she's somebody that I trust, somebody that I really like. So I would check out her. The second YouTuber that I love is Dr. Momma Jones. I think that's what it is. Yeah, Mama Dr. Jones. There we go. Other way around. So she's an OBGYN. So she is in the medical field. So I really like that because she's going to give me like statistics and stuff. And I really need that, right? I need like the holistic side, and the other side I do need like statistics. So I really like her. She's done a couple of videos on the coronavirus, so definitely check her out just to kind of ease your mind about everything. And the last person that I love is Momma Natural. I actually just bought her birth course, and so far I'm really loving it. But I will do a whole video on that a little bit later once I've actually gone through the whole course. But she and a midwife co-host this birth course, and they went ahead and did a whole entire segment on the coronavirus. It was super helpful and honestly put like me at so much ease because I kind of realized that yes, complications can happen, but from the information that we know, everything would most likely be okay. So I think just kind of having that perspective was really helpful. So these are the 3 people I would recommend if you are looking for someone to get information from that you want to trust. I love these gals. They're amazing. All right, so now I've got a long list of things that you should do. These are all just little tips, tricks, and things that have helped me to just be more positive during this time, especially when I start to feel that anxiety and that worry and that fear kind of building up. So the very first thing I did was at my next prenatal appointment, which was right around 21 weeks, I asked my doctor all the questions about the coronavirus that I could. I even asked her, I was like, okay, be honest. I know you can't tell me everything would be fine, but tell me to the best of your ability, if I were to get the coronavirus, would me and my baby be okay? I asked deep questions like that. And even though she said, no, I can't tell you that, she did, and she was able to reassure me that most likely everything would be okay, right? So ask questions. Ask about if you're close to giving birth. Ask, what's the hospital gonna look like, Say, I'm thinking about doing a home birth. Well, what are your thoughts? What do you think? And kind of asking these honestly blunt questions will really help you to feel at ease. And I took a whole list with me, which was super helpful just to remind myself later, I asked this question to the doctor, this was her answer, and it just kind of made me calmer, it made me relaxed, it gave me answers that I really needed. So the next thing that I do every single day religiously is walk and exercise. This is super simple, but anxiety cannot live in your body when you are moving, and especially the physicalness of it, it cannot stay, right? It cannot survive. So that is why I recommend walking 1 to 2 times a day and just getting out in nature. It's honestly a blessing that it's so nice out right now during this pandemic, because we can be outside enjoying the weather and getting to see people. Again, we're quarantined, we can't see anybody. So getting to see people is super, super nice. Even though, you might not be able to sit and talk, at least you get to see some people on your walk. Number 3 is journal. So a lot of you know I'm a huge fan of journaling. I think journaling really helps you to get the thoughts from your mind and put them into words, right? And it helps to kind of release them and lay them down so you don't have to keep going over and over and over them again. So I would recommend journaling in the morning. And you don't have to be like, oh, I'm gonna journal for 35 minutes or I'm gonna journal 3 pages. I just say journal what you can. Journal what's on your mind. And this will just help to get that off your chest. Number 4 is actually something new that I've been trying, and that is using mantras. So I've always heard to use mantras, and I've kind of dabbled with them in the past, but recently I've been really serious about my mantras. I've been writing them on note cards, putting them on sticky notes. I write them in my journal every single morning, and this has just really been helping me to frame my mind, right? So there's 2 phrases that I use every single day. I've been using it for the last 3 weeks, and I see myself reminding myself throughout the day of these mantras. So one is, I am enough because, right? I am enough because I am trying the best I can. That is one that I use over and over and over again because it's so true. I'm doing everything that I can, right? The second phrase is, I am worthy of. I am worthy because, however you want to phrase that, right? And every day this changes for me. So today I am worthy of a calm and healthy spirit. Today I am worthy to have a healthy pregnancy. Whatever that is, it just, it helps you to remember that you are allowed and you are able to have whatever mindset you want to believe in and whatever you want to have. Number 5 is go on a drive. Super simple. Take your husband out, say, we need to just go for a drive. Obviously don't go shopping, don't go in any stores or anything, but just getting out, seeing people, seeing the sunshine, honestly just getting a change of scenery is super helpful, just to kind of getting away from everything that's going on. I think for me, when I'm in a space, the same space all the time, right, I just keep seeing the same things over and over and over again. So it's really nice to have a distraction and to see new and just a different scenery. Number 6 is call your best friend. Do a FaceTime date. We've been doing that with our friends and our family, and it has been so much fun. We've actually, I feel connected more with our friends and family now than we have in the past, just because we're home more. We have more time to be intentional and to see how they're doing and to connect. So take a few minutes, call your best friend, see how she's doing, and this will honestly just distract you from all the things going on. And if you need to vent to her. That's what she's there for, right? That's what friends do. They're there to help and encourage you, and she may even have some advice, being the outside person in, that can help you to calm down and to be able to enjoy this pregnancy. Number 7 is to start nesting. So even if you're in your first trimester, you should start nesting. This could just mean creating a registry. It could be looking at baby names. It can mean cleaning out the nursery, washing all the clothes, whatever it may be. Just start nesting, because this helps you to be excited and to just think about your pregnancy and being healthy, and you're not focused on the, oh, what ifs, what if this thing happens and I get the virus and I this and I that. It's all these worries, right? And we don't even have to think about that. So focus on nesting. So this actually leads me into number 8, which is to focus on what you can control. So focus on the things that you can be doing. So if that means ordering your groceries online, having your husband take off his shoes outside and his clothes, putting them right into the wash, whatever you can do to actually control the situation will help you to lessen your anxiety, because control is a lot of the reason why we fear, why we have anxieties, because we feel like everything's out of control, it's spiraling out of control, right? So this is a very easy way to be able to kind of lessen those anxieties and those worries. And that's simply by just doing things that help you to feel like you're in control. Number 9 is remind yourself that you're doing the very best you can. There's nothing more that you can do to protect this child than everything that you're already doing. It's so easy to go down this road of what if I didn't go here? What if I didn't say this? What if I didn't, touch this person? What if I didn't give this person a hug? I didn't know, right? Well, that's just it. You didn't know. You had no idea that person could, be carrying that, or you didn't know the virus was that severe, or you didn't know. You are doing always the very best you can. I think when we can reside there, we can kind of live in that space, we can let go and be able to just enjoy the pregnancy, right? And to be able to enjoy this time without being fearful of what if, right? So live there today. Remind yourself that you are doing the very best you can. Number 10 is a question I ask myself like 1,000 times a day. Will worrying change this? And most of the time, no. Worrying does not change a single thing. Worrying is not going to make the virus go away. It's not going to help it. It's not going to make it better. It just doesn't do anything. There's actually a verse in the Bible, I think it's Matthew 6, I don't remember the exact, I have it later on coming up, but it says that basically worrying does not add a single hour to your life. How true is that? It's not going to make this pregnancy go by any faster. It's not going to make it go by any better. You're not going to be any healthier. So live in joy today. Live in peace and in positivity. And don't worry. Don't stress, right? And the very last thing you can do is talk to your husband. Set aside time to sit down every couple of days and kind of get these things off your chest. Because when you are able to get those things off your chest, to talk about them, fear and worry and anxiety cannot survive. So get it out, talk to him, confide in him, and most of the time my husband has pretty good advice on how to feel better, how to be more positive. My husband's like the it's fine king, so it's pretty good. We have a pretty good little system going there. So ask him for help. Ask him just to sit and listen, and so that way you can confide in him, and I guarantee you'll feel so much better. So next, I just want to talk about having faith through this pandemic. And I know how difficult it is to want to blame and to be angry with God for just all the things that are happening. I know so many people are losing loved ones and not being able to see loved ones, and it's hard, right? It's really hard, and it's hard because maybe this pregnancy that we planned to happen a certain way, we expected to have a baby shower and a gender reveal and to go to our parents' house and announce the pregnancy, and we expected all these things, but now everything looks so different, and it's so easy to be upset and angry with God. But I think it's funny because I did not expect to feel so close to the Lord through this time. I really think that He's been kind of shifting my heart and my mind into remembering that, He does everything for good. Even though I can't see it, this is not just shaping me. This is shaping the world, right? He's trying to make an impact on so many people. So I hope that during this time you can really thank Him and see that this is not wasted. There's nothing that He does that goes unseen, that goes, beyond what He believes. And He has a plan for you. He has a plan for this child. He has a plan for your family and for everybody. And this is no different than any other life circumstance, right? He knew this was going to happen. He knew the day, the time. He knows everything. So I think for me, when I was able to kind of settle in that and to trust Him with that, it made me be able to relax and to be able to enjoy my pregnancy, because He gave me this gift. He gave me this child. He loves this child more than me. He loves this child more than anything. And it's amazing, I think, when I was able to really make that shift to understand that He's there. He gets it. He knows what we're going through, and He just wants us to lean in and trust Him. So I want to just talk a little bit about what you can be praying for during this time. The first thing you can be praying for is protection and for safety for your little one. I think that, myself, I'm constantly praying for my husband, and just that God would protect him so that we can protect our family. And I think trusting and leaning into Him in that way really, it requires a lot of us, right? It requires us to let go and to give him control, which can be so scary. So that is like my very first thing that I pray for every single day, just that he would protect me, he'd protect this baby, and he would protect my husband, because my husband has to go to work every single day. So the next thing I pray for is the growth of my little one, who this person's gonna be, who they're gonna like, who they're gonna love, what they're gonna do, all these things, and most of all, who's the mother I'm going to be. The next thing that I pray for is the growth of my little one, that she would grow and to be this just beautiful woman who loves the Lord and who is just a good person and cares for others and, you know, thinks of others before herself. And I want her to have such a good relationship with him. So I'm constantly praying for this, for her growth, for her, like I said, her relationship with God. Next, I pray that I would see the good in this situation. So even when I'm feeling like this is unfair, that, you know, all this stuff in my life is not fair, I ask him to open my heart, open my eyes to see the good, because he always has good. There is never anything ever that is wasted. And last but not least, I find ways to thank him. I find ways to thank him. Like right now I'm sitting here and I just hear the birds chirping. I'm outside, it's sunny, I see my plants all over that I've been planting, and I'm just watching them grow, and it's so exciting. So I try to find moments to just thank him for all the blessings that he has given me, which just gives me a grateful heart and just helps me to feel more positive. So I have been writing down every single morning Bible verses just to help me to get through this. So I'm going to share with you a few of my favorites. If you go to the blog post, it actually phrases them out, but I'll just go ahead and read them off here. So the first one is John 16:33. The next one is Matthew 6:27. Then Psalm 147:11. Isaiah 41:10, Proverbs 3:5, and last but not least, Jeremiah 17:7-10. So the very last thing that I want to chat through is how to deal with a canceled baby shower. I actually wrote a post on how to host a virtual baby shower because my mom and I have been exploring that. My baby shower is not till the end of June, but we're still talking through, you know, it probably will be canceled, so what are we gonna do? And I think for me, you know, baby shower is something I look forward to my whole entire life. Even if you don't really think about it, because then you think about marriage, like you think about a wedding, it's what you always think about. But when you go to a baby shower, you think, oh, someday that'll be me up there. And to then realize, like, I'm never gonna get to celebrate this child before she's born with a cute little pregnant belly. I am never gonna be able to do that with my friends and family. It's hard. It's frustrating, sad, but I think for me, I was able to become okay with it when I started realizing, well, here's my other option. My other option is to send out an invite saying, hey guys, I have, you know, a registry here. I really wish that this pandemic wasn't a thing, but we're gonna have to cancel the baby shower, and we're actually going to host a sip and see after the fact. And when I thought about my family all coming together to meet this child, I was like, that's what I want to do. Like, without a doubt, I want everybody to be safe. I want this child to be safe. I want to be safe. And I think when I was able to just come up with another plan and kind of stick with that, it really helped me to just settle in and be okay with the new plan. So anyway, I hope that this video helped you guys. I hope that you feel a little more positive and calm and relaxed. If you have any tips on how to stay positive during this time, please comment below. If you have any comments, anything, make sure you comment below. If you want to see more videos like this, I do a video every single Thursday. Make sure that you hit that subscribe button above. So anyway, I hope that you guys have a good week, and I'll see you next week.